there, partner.
Hey, Josh. Wow.
Jimmy Riley.
I'm glad you got the black shirt memo tonight. Let's go.
Dude, come on, man. Classy, bro.
Got
Can't
it.
go wrong. Can't go wrong. And it jumps me right off into a certain topic that I want to get your opinion on. So, women have see-through dresses. We're getting straight to it today, Jim. Women have like see-through dresses or like I don't know, they have like cheat code outfits. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's no equivalent to like male lingerie, you know?
Now, I would say you're correct about that.
You see where I'm going with this, Jay?
And for a good reason. Is that something you would want?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, kind of. That'd be kind of sick. Yeah, of course. If I could wear something and know I can immediately,
Yeah.
have the cheat code.
Now let me ask you this, and I'll start with saying pause because I know where this is going, but
Okay.
what about gray sweatpants season?
That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Like, is there anything better than gray sweatpants? Pause.
Okay.
I mean, like
that's what I mean.
I know you're into the inventions, Jim. Keeping a running list.
Wow. There's a story. I've created a nice prototype this weekend.
Are you able to share it on the pod?
Yeah. It's all good. We'll get into that. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, is there anything better? No. And I think it's because I have the same pair of gray sweatpants I've had since 7th grade. 7th grade Christmas, I got them. They've been my dogs ever since. A pair of Nikes. They're all ratty now, but yeah, nothing better. And I think it goes with the season too, right? Because we're now into fall. We're getting into the real holidays. It's kicking off.
Right. But here's my thing about the gray sweatpants movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're supposed to be proud about showing off your junk wearing these gray sweats, you're not like the women aren't the only people that see that. There's children around, there's grandparents around.
For sure.
So it's like, how can you even feel comfortable proudly flaunting that?
Yeah, I honestly, I wear shorts under my sweatpants every time I wear them, so I'm not even flaunting dong out there, but it feels like some people definitely do, and there's a fine line between sexual harassment and just wearing a pair of gray sweatpants.
That you summed it up perfectly, Jim. Talk to me about your inventions. I want to hear it.
So I've been hunting a lot. Well, trying to hunt.
I was gonna ask about hunting season. I saw some Instagram stories on the good old boat.
Yes. So yeah, I've been. First off, I'm using stuff from like the 70s. I have like an old trolling motor that's falling apart. My boat's from, I think it said 1941. It was like, it's crazy. Old. And then a new battery, which is probably not the smartest thing. Old electronics and new electronics combined is kind of a no-go, but
more juice than she can handle, maybe.
Exactly. So it gets hot. I burnt the hell. You can't really see it, but I have like a blister on my finger because I was undoing. It doesn't have gator clips, so you can just clip on. You have to unscrew nuts or bolts, I guess. I forget which one's which. But it was super hot. Burnt the shit out of my thumb. So.
Hey, you kiss your burns, or?
Oh, I immediately lick them. But I was handling a dead duck earlier that day, so it was just like didn't even think about it. Thumb in the mouth, and I'm like,
hand sanitizer, my boy.
No es bueno. I know, and I don't keep that.
Underrated essential for hunting, huh?
Yes and no, because I feel like sometimes the germs are what keep you. Keep you healthy. You know what I mean? Keep that ecosystem good. But anyways, so when you're duck hunting, the best time to duck hunt is like the first 30-45 minutes of the day, and then like the last 30-45 minutes a day. And obviously there's spurts in between and like different days. That's usually like the go-to. And I don't have a hunting dog. So if you have a hunting dog, it's like you shoot a bird, send them out, and like back in 2-3 minutes, you're good.
Are you on the water?
So I'm shooting off a levee over water, and the water is just over waist deep. I go hunting a lot though, and I'm like, I'm not testing it at all, right? I have waders, I can get in there pretty deep, but I'm like, there's no reason to like go in over my wader and literally drown out there. Like that would be the most humiliating way to go out. Just being a floater is literally like Starsky and Hutch, just someone poking at me, finding my wallet, taking my cash. That's all I think about out there. So anyways, what I have to do is when I shoot a duck, I have to take the boat and I have to go out and get it myself, which is like 10-minute process. That's like a third of the time that is prime time. So I try to, it's not really an invention. It's just a grappling hook, but it has to be lightweight enough to throw out like 50 yards. And so, yeah, right.
And maybe a little rocket release.
Well, that's what my dream would be, to have exactly like a net inside of a 12 gauge shotgun shell that you shoot, and then you shoot your net like past the duck and then you bring it out. That's just a pipe dream. Never going to happen. But sick. You know, I love inventing things. I'll figure it out. So I'm trying to do this grappling hook, and I literally spent like all day. Was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago. Whatever day it was. Spend all day like, what materials am I going to use? What am I? What's the plan of? Yeah. And so I'm a big sketch guy. I don't have my notebook on me. Big sketch guy. So I go a bunch of different places, and I finally decide on like metal skewers for like s'mores. And it's like good enough thickness to where it'll hold the shape, but like you can still kind of bend it. So I get those, and I mean, just classic prototype fashion. We're talking duct tape up the wazoo, just and I get it in a nice hook, exactly. And it's like rock hard. Pause in the in the center, and it's like holding. And I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I'm gonna go try this out now. So I go out there and I hunt. I'm like, okay, if I shoot a duck, like I'll just run it then. If not, whenever the day's over, I'll give it a toss. So I hunt the whole day, shoot nothing. It's just kind of a dry day. I'm like, fuck, sucks. But I'll take a cast, a couple casts, figure this out, and see if the prototype really works for the next hunt day. So I'm all excited, and I'm talking to my dad the whole day. I'm like, oh God, like I'm never too proud of myself, but like on this one, like this is a good idea. You
gave it your all.
Right. And so I put it on a fishing pole. That's what I did. I put it on a fishing pole with some 30-pound test, which is like a good amount of strength you need to break one of those off.
Okay.
So I go out there, and the first, like, I'm like trying to get like the, you know what I mean? Like before I throw it, I'm like, how am I like going to do this?
Yeah.
And then
it's heavy, right?
Yeah. It's not like super heavy. I mean, it's no heavier than like you would use deep sea fishing, like that sort of weight. So it's probably 1.5 pounds.
Ever been deep sea fishing?
I've never, not when I'm of age to actually do anything. Like we went when we were little, and we just kind of hung around the boat. I would love to
catch some big game, huh?
Yeah, dude, so much fun. I see Daw ripping up some rock cod and lean cod. I'm like, God, sick. But anyways, I go to take a cast, and I take a crow hop, as one does as a baseball player, and I throw it, and it's launched, and I'm like so happy, and it's going, and it reaches like the apex, and all of a sudden just snaps.
Oh no.
The hook flies off into the fucking ether, into salt water, never to be seen again. The bobber I had on it gets hucked. I mean, the thing was a bomb. I'll give myself that. But it just snapped, right? And so I literally put in a day's work for nothing. And it just absolutely sucks. So I'm going back to workshop it. I ended up killing a duck this weekend. I have a real grappling hook too. It's just a little heavy. That's my issue. I need something lightweight. But I did kill a duck this weekend. Felt nice. Get off the schneid. You know what I mean?
First one of the season?
First one of the season. It was a sitting duck too. It's bad. Some people don't even shoot those. Wow. but it came into the decoys and it just sat there for a second. I was like, sometimes I'll like scare them off, like take a step so they fly and then shoot. I was like, this is a guarantee. I'm rolling this bitch. Fuck off. Bah.
Wow.
But yeah, and then dude, another.
Do I need a hunting license to join you?
No, so I can bring 2 people out there without a hunting. You can't shoot anything, but you could come out and fucking chill. Maddie T and Kenny came out there with me once, and it was miserable. I felt so bad. I didn't shoot my gun at all. They were both like, we were sitting in goose shit. It was so bad. But I go to a new spot now. New spot.
Gotcha.
More user friendly. But before the morning of that hunt, I'm sitting in a chair, and it's like a folding chair. It folds flat, but it's got like a back piece and then 2 legs, whatever. And I'm sitting in it, and I'm like getting my stuff ready, and I go to lean over to do something, and the fucking chair snapped from underneath me, and my ass went right into a rock, dude. Cheek, but it like bruised so bad. It does not feel good. Just not a way to start. That was like 5:30 in the morning. That happens.
Oh,
and I'm like, God damn it.
I'd go home.
I seriously thought about it. I had just put out all my decoys out. I was like, I'm not picking all these up. I just put these out. Like, fuck this. Yeah. No, hunting.
What's your pre-hunting meal in the morning, Jim?
What I
McDonald's
used to,
open yet?
No, so I go early. So you can only go 2 hours. You can only go into the place, the refuge, 2 hours before it opens, but it's like first come, first serve. So you gotta be out there first.
Early.
And you know me, I'm an early riser. I like calling the shots. So, but most of the time I get out there, there's no one. I'm literally the only person. So I'm like, fuck, I could wake up way later.
You made it up in your head like it's Black Friday out there.
Oh, it's fucking crazy. I'm the only. Hunting's the only place where I try and draw a conversation from other people and just like shoot the shit. I feel like they're way more like at work. I get no people that are anywhere close to like-minded. It's just like, and so hunting, I'm like, all right, I can at least sit out here. And so like occasionally a couple of years, it's like me and another guy that's literally us 2 every day waiting out front, just shooting the shit. And that's nice. But
maybe a Facebook group.
Yeah. Well, I've tried
Hunters in Silicon Valley.
They have no, that gets too squirrely, because then you're giving up. Then you're inviting too many people out to the hunting spot. Just let the people that know about it know about it. But
hey, if you know, you know.
If you know,
don't ask,
you
don't
know.
tell.
Pause. No, but my pre-hunt meal. It's not even I guess it is. I used to go a sleeve of powdered donuts.
Oh, okay. A little coffee.
I just go a big thermos of coffee. I don't eat. So this is before my coffee days. Back when I was eating, so it'd be a sleeve of donuts, a Red Bull, and then a bottle of Coke, just waiting on the side for me to get my hands into once shit gets popping off. But there's, nothing better. You do that, and then you wear no earplugs for the first round of shots, and you are awake. There's nothing. Nothing.
No smelling salts needed.
Absolutely not. Just the smell of gunpowder.
Now, Jim,
baby.
are you a donuts or a bagels guy? Like, if you had to pick one, no cream cheese, no lox, just a donut or just a bagel?
Recently, I've been just a bagel guy, but in my past, like I've had thousands of more donuts than I've had bagels. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah, I think bagels would be the popular pick there, but for me, if you don't got cream cheese and lox, just give me the donut.
Yeah, and I feel like that's how I am most of the time, but like I would get tired of, like you said, the rest of your life, I would say bagels. But like more often than not, I would probably pick the donut. A nice Stan's glazed donut. How do you pass
I was going to say,
up?
best donuts? What are the best donuts?
Stan's.
Like,
it's not even close.
Am I crazy for saying Krispy Kreme? Glazed?
They're good, but they're too sweet.
Yes, they're glazed.
Yeah,
yes, they're glazed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like an authentic, like, Willow Glen donut shop.
Have you had Stan's?
Which one is that? By Jake's?
No. That's Manly's, I think. I forget. That one's not even like a donut shop anymore. Is
Stan's by Mojo?
No, it's out in Like
That's the one. If you know, you know.
that's
And I know
Manly's. That is Manly's over by Mojo. That one's been a staple for centuries. But no, this one they specialize in their glaze. It's kind of like Krispy Kreme, but it's like a fat glazed donut, and it's the best donut. It's over like Saratoga-y area, and it's like there's a line out the door every morning. Like you have to wait. Like you go in, say a dozen glazed, throw 20 on the table, and like that's the deal. It's so good. Next time you're here, I'll have to bring you one because it's like
the best.
Nothing compares.
Speaking of, we got some plans in motion for the great return of Thanksgiving.
Ooh,
which is coming. I mean, it's November, Jim. I mean,
snuck up on us
it's
quick.
coming up here. Excuse me.
Your excuse.
Kendall Brown, Matt Melendrez, and I are going to be road tripping.
Ooh-wee.
Back home. Might stop off, pick up Hunter in Santa Monica. We'll see what's going on. We don't know.
Hunter,
make it stop.
Hunter's the type of guy, and we love Hunter, but he's gonna make you guys stop off there, and then at the last minute be like, I'm not going. I just wanted to see the boys for Thanksgiving real quick, which I
totally
love.
would, totally would. But looking forward to that. You know, I kind of like the flexibility of the drive. You know,
100%.
and just the boysness of just hitting the road with the boys. Maybe some suds in the back seat. Don't tell anyone. We'll see. Maybe a little. Put the beer can inside of the McDonald's cup.
Classic
straw.
Move.
I learned. Yeah, I won't say who I learned that one from, but that's a classic move right there.
That's a shoreline on the way to shoreline.
I actually try not to drink in the car because I did get a
Halloween
ticket. Yeah, Halloween in slow. Which could have gone way worse. Don't know if I've ever told this story, but
that was one of like the first you told on here. But I mean, do tell again if you would like.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But I did get a ticket for having an open container in the back seat. So now I'm always trying to like not make the same mistake twice, but at the same time, it's kind of nice just to have a sip of some ice, cold beer.
Dude, it's crazy. Like I never want to drink, but like when you're on a road trip, something just seems right. You know what I mean? Like just sitting back in the car.
Right about it, right?
Like,
come
on.
Crazy. Like, we are not advocating for drinking and driving at all.
Sir.
We're talking about the boys in the back seat who are just bored and just want to have a few.
Exactly.
You know?
And I think it's because I think mine stems from wanting to drive. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if I'm not driving, at least let me fucking take a load.
Not worry about
here.
dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I remember going up to Tahoe and there was just some debauchery going on. I'm like, there's like, even with us, like, what are we doing? Like looking back, like this is stupid. Some
great Tahoe trips have been made. I'm really glad about that. Thinking back on it, a lot of my travel has been like within California / like next to California / just United States in general. You know?
Yeah, but that's most like, dude, I feel like most people don't leave the state, and like California is so big. Like they thought at one time of breaking into 5 states. So it's like to even go to bordering states is like a trek.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
Jefferson.
The state of Jefferson.
The state of Jefferson. Yeah, exactly.
Would have been sick.
No, dude, Northern California is where all the hippies live, dude, from like the hippie movement back in the day, Hayden-Ashbury.
Big time.
I think they all live up in like Humboldt, Eureka. Eureka.
Yeah, dude, I'm reading a book right now about Laurel Canyon, and the start of like the hippies in the CIA. It was one that got brought up on Rogue's podcast, but it was like, it's such a fucking good book. It ties into like how all these parents of like the people that lived in Laurel Canyon. So it's like a big music scene, a big drug scene. All their parents were like high level military people, and like they all happened to meet up in one area at the specific time and happened to be at the most influential drug time, music time in the United States. And then all of them happened to die by suicide. It's like, it goes.
Is that a thing?
Bro, there's so many people that die of apparent suicide. It's like, I'm halfway through
Jim
and there's
Morrison
like 20
band, right? And
Jim Morrison's dad was in the Gulf of Tonkin. He was driving the ship that got us into Vietnam because they said it was attacked. I mean, the shit's crazy, bro. It was like mind blowing. And I know a lot of it's speculation. We're drawing some conclusions here, but it's like, God,
if you write a book, if you take the time to write a long book about it, there's some, where there's smoke, there's fire.
And that's the thing. Like, it's not like,
is that a good saying, Jim? Is that saying a 1 or a 0 in terms of
that's
truth?
A 1. Where's there never been smoke and no fire? That's what I mean. There's gotta be. There's something there.
I don't know. Like, for example, like the Jews were blamed for the Black Plague and shit back in the day. Maybe a little bit of smoke with no fire. Baby. But maybe, who knows? Who knows? Who fucking knows?
No, that is true. But like, I feel like the smoke there is like something else was going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily directly impacted. There's something bigger that's making people blame. You know what I mean? Or like, something. No, I dig the saying. I don't know. It's
I like it. I'm with it as well.
Yeah.
I think I kind of live by it, Like, you give me 2 sentences, 3 sentences about the CIA, Jim Morrison, Laurel Canyon, and I'm kind of like, all right, there's something there.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know what it is, but
I'm not buying in hook, line, and sinker yet, but I'm not closed off to it.
Exactly.
Which is honestly, I feel like that's how most of the people feel. And not to get political about this, but like, you could tell me anything, any side politically, and if you made sense, I go, you know what, that makes sense. And then someone else could tell me the exact opposite, and I go, I think I'm kind of back the other way. And I just play that game all day. It's just, what have I heard recently, which is a fucked up way to live, but that's how I do it.
Because we wouldn't put it past anyone,
Oh yeah.
Everyone's up for grabs.
You can't.
So, liars and cheaters.
What's up? No, I forget where I was gonna go. Oh, what did you do for Halloween? That's what I was gonna ask next.
Halloween, pretty uneventful, honestly. Pretty dang uneventful. Some of the boys went to this like slow Halloween PB mansion party, address style, high school style.
Wow.
Yeah.
How is that?
I was just a bit under the weather, so I just chilled. But the day before, not to put anyone's business, one of the boys is seeing a new girl, and one of the said boy, the girl wanted to meet some of his friends,
Right.
So he put together a little soiree where, our friends can kind of like get together and we all pregame and go out on the town. We meet at Alex's house, all that good stuff. So
is it Alex?
Oops. I can't say who it was. I'm just saying we ended up going to Moonshine, and they were all over each other. It was a beautiful thing to see. Love was in the air. Good vibes. Awesome. I brought a sick costume. It was one of those costumes where it looks like you're on the shoulders of a bear.
Incredible. So the one from Super Troopers?
Pretty much, yeah. So it's got like the legs and stuff like that. So I wore that, and then I also had a Scream mask. So
you did go? Did you go sexy Scream like you were talking?
I didn't go sexy Scream. I did Scream on top of a bear. I combined the two.
Respect.
So we're at the pregame, and they go, "Let me see your costume." And I go, all right. And I put it on. I'm a Scream on top of a bear. And she goes, hey, you smoke weed? And I go, yeah. She goes, I could tell. And I go, oh, no pulling punches tonight. Okay. Go crazy.
That was the new girl?
That was one of her friends, I think.
I was going to say, she's feeling comfortable real quick.
Right? I respected it. I knew what it was. It was kind of a pick-me moment. I will say that. But it was kind of like a, like I want to be one of the boys moment. You know?
A little razz.
Like I'm here. Like I'm here. Yeah.
There was nothing better.
You're not.
You're not. Back in the day, that was literally all my costumes were like last minute, just combine shit. Fuck it, throw it together, make do. What was it? Oh, Todd.
Best costume you saw this year?
Ooh.
Did you see any standouts?
There was no.
Jay Roach hit the Taylor, the Travis Kelce, and he brought a Swifter.
Oh no, that's a horrible.
With the face on it.
That's
no, it was good.
That's so overplayed. Oh,
I
he
know
brought
it
a
was
Swift.
overplayed.
A Swifter. Oh, like an actual.
Like a Swift.
I thought you were. I thought you were talking like like calling a girl like a Swifter. I was like, oh, that's overplayed.
No,
That's funny. That's good.
not a
Back
Swifty, a
in.
Swifter.
Back in
Yeah.
100%. Mitch was Captain Crunch. That was good. I thought that was.
Oh, I did see Captain Underpants.
Actual
Captain
shirtless.
Underpants was sick.
Actually shirtless with just underwear.
It was like sports bra and like
a
tidy
chick.
whitey, like Calvin Klein vibes, you know.
Now, I feel like she's
With the
trying
cape.
too hard with that. No, it's like just put some clothes on. You can do something else.
I thought she looked great, to be honest.
I'm sure.
Some people could pull it off. What can I say? I just thought it was wholesome. It brought me back, to the
wholesome. You thought that was wholesome. Get the fuck out of here.
I did, dude. Compared to a lot of other things,
pig.
at least she had a concept. Captain Underpants, like it's a good reference. It's a 2000s reference.
I guess she just tied a red blanket around her neck.
It's childhood associated.
She tied a red blanket around her neck.
Something like that.
That's it. Everything else was just at her house.
Jim, it sounds like you think like sexy costumes are a zero, like 1 or a 0, like
trying too hard like that. Trying to wear nothing.
Do you think it's a beautiful thing for society that women dress up seductively on Halloween?
Yeah.
Or are you like, no?
I say do whatever you want. I'm just saying, trying too hard to do that, to wear nothing, is like everyone knows what you're doing. Like, I don't know. That just seems overplayed. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, I hear you.
Let's get it together.
We need a male equivalent, though.
We?
What's the male equivalent? This is what I'm getting at, Jim.
The male equivalent is a funny costume. That's the male equivalent, because you're not getting pussy wearing a costume other than having it be funny. Am I right? Like, there's no, like, if you wear a serious costume, you come in wearing a full suit of metal.
Zorro. What's that movie?
Zorro? That's funny. Zorro's funny. You come in with a pencil stash and a sword. That's a
vibe. Okay.
That's funny.
I see you.
But you come in a full knight's costume of real metal, people are like, who the fuck is this weirdo? Can this guy leave? You know what I mean? Like, you can't go too hard. There's a fine line. But I think that's the male equivalent. You know what I mean? Funny's what's getting you there.
Funny wins. Funny wins.
But yeah, I don't know.
Sneak peek teaser to our draft tonight. Hey.
Ooh, I forgot we were doing that. I took a couple
Come back after the break.
Come back after the break. Oh!
Yeah. Life hurts, man.
Life hurts.
Life hurts. Life hurts. Yeah.
On brand, it says cue dramatic music, public service announcement. It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's a ball trimmer sent from space. Gentlemen, our friends over at Manscaped have been working night and day to bring you a below-the-waist grooming experience like none other with their brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. We're talking a next-generation trimmer with the interchangeable blade heads for whatever shave your mind can imagine. Upgrade your grooming game to the Ultrasphere this year by going to Manscaped for 20% off plus free shipping with code Trough. High tech for low places. And now they're talking high tech, low places. I'm talking high tech, high places as well. This thing goes pubes, head. I don't really give a shit. It trims it all. And I lather it up with some nice lotion at the end. God damn, Manscaped does it all. The best.
I mean, AI is cool, but I think this might be the best technological advancement the world has ever seen. Every man knows how scary it can get when going for a close shave below the belt. That's why I trust Manscaped for all my sensitive areas. Inside this package, you'll find the star of the show, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This 5th generation trimmer features 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and then a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. We also have the dual LED spotlight to provide a contrast for multiple skin tones, 3 length setting combs, and oh, did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? No more wet shaving down there. Count me in. This bad boy also features dual LED spotlights, providing contrast on multiple skin tones so you can shed some light on your darkest places. We're talking 3 length setting combs. Did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? This thing will have you going in circles. This right here is on the cutting edge of cutting pubes. Upgrade your ball trimmer and your life will follow.
Wow, you didn't mention that, but you did mention the LED spotlight twice. It must be that bright. Thanks for the ad read. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code Trough at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code Trough at manscaped.com. I promise you've never seen a ball trimmer look like a spaceship. Get yours today, folks, at Manscaped. Peace. Halloween though, I went over to the Meeker's house. They're reviving the old Westgate tradition slowly but surely. There was only a few houses doing it, but I gotta say, Todd Jr. put on a show at Leanne's house. I mean, had the popcorn machine running full steam from 6 to like 9 p.m. They had Malos.
What was going down?
What was going down? Full popcorn machine, literally line a house and a half down of just kids waiting. They were like, we don't want candy, we want popcorn. Perfect. Freshly popped popcorn. Great treat on Halloween. Just eating as you go. It's not sweet. It takes away. It's a little savory to the sweet. But it, wow. I mean, and they've done that for years. And then they kind of went away with it. Like after their grandparents like stopped doing it. But now the kids are old enough. They're like, fuck, we want to take over. So they did that. And then they also do a fire pit, which I thought was pretty sketch. Just an open fire pit, like, and put it in the front yard and let kids roast mallows. Kind of sick, but also it feels like a huge liability.
Let's not overthink it. Yeah, it's a liability, but let's kick it old school. You know what I mean?
But yeah, no, exactly. Very old school. And people love that too.
Halloween, get excited.
And surprisingly, no dickhead kids. I would have thought for sure, like, because they're giving them like wood skewers. There was no like toss the skewer in the fire when you were done. It's please, thank you. I was impressed, to say the least.
Well, I tell you, I think the next generation of kids are going to be the most well-behaved in real life and just menaces online.
Yeah, I think.
Like, I don't think there'll be a problem in person. I think that's kind of my vibe.
I could see that. Yeah. Because everyone's too afraid to get in trouble. They're self-censoring. Is that the worst type of censoring? They don't care about the real world. They don't care about real life. They're going to be themselves, the real self on the internet. But even then, I feel like the internet's, like, people are going to start making you sign up on websites with IDs and shit. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, because that's the only way to combat troll accounts or fucking just losers. You know what I mean?
Bro. Speaking of troll accounts, all that shit, Elon and Zuck, dude. Zuck's with the torn ACL.
Welcome to the club, brother.
Oh my gosh! And Kirk Cousins, and fucking Daniel Jones,
and Kirky with the AC or the Achilles.
Kirk with the Achilles.
But yeah,
Aaron Rodgers coming back against the Dolphins. I heard.
That's what I was. Wow! Did you see him today walking around throwing passes before the game? Dropping passes, back,
throwing 55-yard bombs, bro.
Sick.
He can do that with just his wrist though, so it's not that big of a deal. I feel like, but
no, for sure.
Either way.
What were we talking about?
Who did you have it?
What?
Zuck versus Elon. I know Zuck, we talked about it.
Zuck, Elon. Honestly, in its full MMA.
Yeah, full MMA.
You got to take Zuck. You got to take the trained man. And I know Elon talks about the walrus move, and Elon's not training. He's not an idiot. Like, he goes on Rogan and he's saying, I'm just going to do the walrus and lay on top of him. And Rogan's looking at him like, you're fucking mental if you think that's going to work. Wow, shadows.
They make weight classes for a reason.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Elon, he's got to be doing a little jiu-jitsu. He could probably get like a nice confident white belt by the time the fight happens.
Well, that's what I mean. He's been trained, he's trained with like John Danaher, Gordon Ryan, who are the top of the heap in jiu-jitsu. Literally the best coach and the best practitioner. So he's trained with them a little bit with GSP too. GSP's on Elon's side, sick. And that's
means for Rob, the hobby is too.
That's kind of the cool thing. Like people are kind of choosing sides. But the thing is, he's gonna train a little bit. But I've seen guys that are blue belts that are like 150 pounds just dismantle guys that, granted, are like day 1, day 2 guys. But it's like,
yeah. But it's not MMA either.
Exactly. I was gonna say, if Elon can learn how to stuff a takedown and throw a fucking bow, just a fucking chicken wing right to the head, Zuck's gonna die.
That's what I'm trying to say, man.
But I
got Elon. Where was Elon Musk born? Does anyone know the answer?
South Africa.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I do believe he's South African. And like, there's big controversy. He's supposedly rich growing up. They say his parents owned a mine, which is just kind of what the business is down there. But they make it seem like Elon was a slave owner and all this. And I'm like, all right, pump the brakes a little bit. One, I don't think it's true. But two, I think there's a fine line between the two. But yeah, I don't know. It's sketch. Zuck, though, with the knee, kind of a puss. I saw his wife giving him a horse bath in the hospital, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, wiping him down with a washcloth. I'm like, okay, you're a grown man. Wash your own ass. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Also, like, maybe it's time to rethink what we're doing with the whole jiu-jitsu combat sports when you're just Mark Zuckerberg, you know? I mean, I'm glad that he does it, right? That's good. Everyone should do it. It's commendable.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was a freak accident. Like, think about how many UFC fighters, like Conor McGregor, got scissor sweeped and snapped his ACL. I forget what fight it was right before, but right before a big fight. So it's like, shit happens.
How do you think you would fare against Mark Zuckerberg in a jiu-jitsu match?
No comment. No.
I know how I'll answer if you don't want to. I'll give you my analysis.
How do you think you would do? Or are you giving your analysis of me?
Me, I'd probably lose. I would probably lose Mark.
Yeah, you
would definitely strangle that man.
I'm not much of a strangler. I will say that, though. I'm not much of a strangler. I'm more, actually, that's not true. I don't know what would happen. Jiu-jitsu's a weird game.
You got the length, Jim. You're going to wrap him up in a body triangle.
That's usually what happens. It's a body triangle. Or I like, my thing, I'm sure we've talked about this, is the buggy choke. And it's when, like, you're in a guy's side control. A guy's got you in side control. And he's like thinking, hey, this is cake, right? And he's like, starts working, starts moving your head towards the hip. And I don't want to demonstrate it, but you throw your hand through here and then your leg over and you fucking strangle the shit out of him. And it goes from being his position to him tapping out. And there is nothing sweeter than that. I've gotten so many, I wouldn't say high level guys by any means, because it's like a high level guy is just going to stuff my hip right away. But like guys that should know better and just like don't really see that move that often, and they get put in it and they're like, well, fuck, like now I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So I would try and get Zuck in a buggy choke. That's what I would do, because that's what makes highlight reels right there.
That's what dreams are made of right there.
It is.
And Jim, who is your jiu-jitsu Michael Jordan? Like, not who's the, but like who's your?
Gordon Ryan. They're the same too.
Yeah.
And who would actually? Henner's great, but you would
that energy.
Hodger's more people say is the GOAT just because of his ADCC, like his tournament wins and stuff like that. But this guy has like double the wins of Hodger. He's been doing it longer. He was a black belt since he's like legally been allowed to, but he's also on mass amounts of steroids and is sick all the time, but they don't test for it. So he says, why would you not take steroids if they're not testing? Like, I can train every day because of this. And that's why he's the best. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I want to be the greatest. I'll pay the fucking sacrifice.
Right. But he is massively fucked up. Like, he's sick and like he can't compete more than like once or twice a year at this point.
Never worth it.
And he's 28, 27, 28. It's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah. And
legend.
He's unanimously the GOAT. Like, it's not even a question anymore. But Craig Jones, another guy, Craig Jones is sickest. That's the guy that like, he's the funny guy. He's so good that he'll just go in there and like mess around with you and like tap you out in a funny, like he's that guy that just like is going for content in tournaments. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like he hit a, like a heel hook on a guy between his legs while wearing, they're sick. They call themselves the B team because they always get silver medals and they just like embrace it because they lose to fucking that Gordon Ryan guy. But they just took the Bulls logo and put it on a rash guard and got a cease and desist. And we're like, okay, perfect. We made enough for like one tournament for our team. We won't make any more. And so he just does shit like that. It's like wear shirts that say keep jujitsu gay. Like just an idiot, but the best.
Yeah.
So good.
Love idiots.
The best. Who now kind of going off that, who's your favorite athlete right now?
Dude, my favorite NBA athlete of all time, not even just right now, is Victor Wembanyama.
Wow, what?
And it already was before he even got into the NBA, just because I love, like, if I were ever to make a creative player on a game, I would always make them literally as tall as possible.
100%.
And as good as possible. And that's what it's like watching him play. And it's unreal watching him play. It's so fun. I love, like, I'm just so grateful we get 82 games of just, like, randomly pulling up Twitter or whatever and seeing Wembanyama fucking highlights because they're incredible. He's so fun to watch. He's must-see TV. I fucking love him.
Now, I agree. And watching him versus KD was like watching two fucking spiders fuck. It was insane. It was weird.
It was like watching an old spider get fucked by a bigger, younger spider. That's what it was like.
There you go.
Yeah.
But what do you think his longevity is? Do you think we're getting a Yao Ming type situation, or do you think this man's good to go? Because I see him, he's getting in full, like, I don't know what you call it, like that forward plank where you're touching like pretty much your forearm to your toes. Like he's got
forward fold. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy flexibility.
I think he's doing all the right things, but I think the way that he moves, there's no way he'll move like that in 6 years. He's 19 years old right now. He's limber. Everything's right. And the way he moves is the most impressive part. Like, he's fully in control of his body, his balance, like
that's what I was gonna say. His agility, body awareness. He knows where to place his foot. He's not stepping on guys going. You know what I mean? It's graceful for the size.
7'5".
Crazy.
But his footwork is better than people that are 7 feet. Like I've never seen a 7-footer with footwork like him since like Shaq, pretty much.
Dirk.
Yeah.
But well, just side tangent.
Anyway,
there's been going no. There's TikToks going around that are like highlights of different players to like random music, like absolutely music that should not be played. Like there was a Dirk Nowitzki Paramore highlight, and it was like the greatest thing I've ever seen. I was like, the good old days.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Wembanyama it's crazy. I think I need a little more time for him to breathe in the league before I start declaring an allegiance towards him. But I mean, that's the future of basketball, right?
I think the future of basketball is the unicorns, the 7-footers who are also skilled like a guard. Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Chet, KD,
Porzingis,
Victor.
The actual unicorn.
Kind of like that, right? Yeah, exactly.
And we're seeing more and more of them too. It's like we're getting one every couple years now, as opposed to one every decade. It's like there's more guys.
Like I feel like the Warriors brought in positionless basketball, but it was like with all mid-sized guys, like 6'7" guys. But then the next evolution of that is positionless basketball with all 7-footers.
Could you imagine? It's like playing the Monstars in fucking Space Jam.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Exactly. But Wembanyama today, I know we haven't seen that much, but I mean, is he the best player in basketball? Like, who would you trade Wembanyama for?
Who would? Now, I feel like those are two different questions.
Would you trade Wemby for Luka right now?
No, but I would build a team with Luka over Wemby right now. You know what I mean? It's too.
So why not make the trade?
Because I feel like you're going to get more out of Wemby long term. Like, right? I'm saying, like, if you have a team right now, you're going to want Luka. But like long term, I think Wemby he's going to pull into that leadership role. He's going to be the dude. He's going to be like a Tim Duncan. As long as Pop's there, he's going to be a dude. But right now Luka's been there, done that. I think you got to. I don't know. I maybe Jokic. You trade Wemby for Jokic. Denver would never.
Denver would never even think about it, but neither would the Spurs.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it would definitely have to be like a package deal that really made the Spurs better.
But I'm thinking that they should not give Wemby a second contract. They should just trade him after the first 5 years.
Why?
Even if everything goes, because he's, like he might get hurt. He's big, tall, that type of thing.
I mean, I see that, but at the same time, I feel like
trade high, like he'll be the most valuable player in the whole league.
Why would anyone want to come to the Spurs then? You know what I mean? But I guess at the same time, the dynamic of the league could be totally different. We could be seeing a college football, if you're not playing, fuck it, go anywhere type atmosphere more so than like I feel like it's already becoming more of a thing, requesting trades.
Harden to the Clippers.
Kind of
sick. No?
Dude, for who? Who is that?
I mean, at
sick
this
for?
point, you
That's
might as well just
Philly.
fucking grab all the guns you could get.
Dude, watching him come into the locker room for the first time and Westbrook just kind of like, you could see he was happy, but at the same time, it was just kind of like, fuck, like, damn it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that they're back together. But I don't know. James Harden, he's great if he likes where he's playing, but the minute adversity hits, it's like, rut-row.
Of course, yeah. My thing with that trade, though, is that if one thing's for sure, one out of those four guys is not going to be there when you need him. Yeah. So it's like it almost makes sense to get the fourth guy because it's like one of those guys will probably be hurt anyway. So now you got that third guy to kind of step up,
kind of keep him in a rotation. But at the same time, he's got to be the guy. You know what I mean? That's the problem with him. Like Russ has been fine taking a back seat, and like as much as he doesn't want to, he does. But like Harden's never been able to do that.
Rosa Parks it every time, dude.
Rosa Parks, exactly. No, did you see that when they played the Lakers, Russ went and stood off on the other side of the court and didn't shake Braun's hand pregame? I was like, need more of that in the NBA. Fuck all this buddy shit. I want hands thrown.
Right. And shout out Dylan Brooks, man, on the Rockets. Got a lot of young talent over there. He's been balling out, man. I'm not a fan of his particularly, but it's like he gives that edge. He's not going to shake hands with guys. Like at least
I see what you
brings some of that 80s. You know what I mean? He brings some of that
for sure, and that's because I feel like it's more of a chicken and the egg. I feel like guys weren't shaking his hand first, so he's like, "All right, fuck y'all," then, and then he became the dickhead. But yeah, I don't know. Last thing I want to touch on before we get drafting is how about them Raiders? Holy smokes.
So, as we know, our good friend B. Fees had a college roommate, Josh Love.
Yeah, he's on the Vikes, right?
No, Josh Oliver is on the Vikes. Josh Love played high school football at Cal Polytech.
I see where this is going.
If I'm saying this right.
With Schmidt-Schuster.
And the coach that left Cal Polytech High School to be the coach of the Raiders is one Antonio Pierce. So shout out Antonio Pierce. Shout out Cal Polytech.
I didn't know that.
And I love the moves. I love the moves by the Raiders. I mean, they might one day be a 500 team. Like, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it happen. Like, they are on their way to, like, maybe one day be 500. So shout out all the Raiders fans out there. Shout out to the Raiders. But for real, shout out to Antonio Pierce.
That is sick.
What made you want to be the coach for the Raiders? Well, I was born, I was born in South Central LA. I was born a Raider. Woohoo!
Kind of sick. And that's what the way the boys rallied around him that quick too, smoking cigars in the locker room. It was like they won the Super Bowl now that McDaniels was gone. It was crazy.
Yeah, here's my thing. They legalized, I'm pretty sure they legalized or like they made it that you're allowed to smoke weed as an NFL player.
Right.
Why would you be allowed to smoke cigars in the locker room and not be able to smoke weed in the locker room?
It's more of a
getting other people high thing.
I think I was gonna say,
but you getting other people fucking high with your fucking cigar smoke.
Different,
like a certain type.
Different, way exactly. Different. But yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. And I feel like, hey, you're a billion-dollar organization. Maybe build some filters in your locker room that will suck all the smoke out so boys can be blowing in here.
How about a cigar room?
It would be that easy.
Yeah.
Or just make your cigar look like, or make your blunt look like a cigar. Roll a nice fatty and just.
I was looking at a lot of those cigars in that
What's
locker room.
his name?
Trust me, I was looking for.
Who's the white guy? Fucking
Max Crosby.
Yes. Dude, the amount of times he almost dropped the N-words in videos this week was absolutely crazy. He was like, and then he just like rolled over. But I
heard gingers get the pass. I don't know if that's true.
And that's with dyslexia. They get the pass. You feel me?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, redheads, by the way, is what I meant.
Well, gingers worked better because if you disassemble the letters in gingers, it's a different word too. That's what makes it funny. Oh my God! Don't make me. That's like an old South Park joke. From
I didn't.
way back.
I wasn't allowed to watch that.
I felt bad even saying it. Oh wow, South Park's classic. But yeah, no.
Good laughs.
The best. They're the only ones that are grandfathered into doing whatever they want nowadays. But yeah, Raiders, the sickest. I mean, they're Nevada's team.
I don't know why we're talking about him.
Because McDaniels is a bitch, but it's funny.
The Raiders.
Fuck the Raiders.
But next week I am going to be catching a game at SoFi Stadium. So
who's playing?
Looking forward to that. Vegas Stadium is on my bucket list. I'm going to be seeing the Chargers Lions.
Chargers. That's sick. Bolt up. And the Lions, thought to be a Super Bowl contender at one point this year.
God, I have a story. It might have to be for next pod, but last time I went to SoFi Stadium, went to a game with the De La Rochas and a friend of theirs, or maybe a friend of theirs, who was in a fraternity with Jared Goff.
Oh, boy.
And wouldn't say 3 sentences in a row without mentioning Jared Goff's name, or how Jared Goff got them all jerseys once he made it, or just like
such a fucking boner, dude.
How he got all the Berkeley pussy in the world. This guy was like 4'11", compensating out the ass. Like, he was cool until he got drunk, and then it was just like, all right, we get it. You want to fuck Jared Goff?
I was gonna say, is there anything weirder than pussy bragging for your friend? That's like a weird, like, odd. But I love it. I mean,
good
brothers.
He almost got thrown off the balcony, but that's neither here nor there.
By a Rams fan?
Something like that, yeah.
It's funny. Love that. All right, well, let's get into the draft. I don't want to say last week was the biggest lopsided victory in Trough's talk history, but
who won?
It wasn't even close, brother. You lost like 80-20. It was a bad
Harry Potter and Star Wars. I
was getting comments. Finding Nemo. What is this guy smoking crack before these?
That was a tough one.
But yeah, no, that was a lopsided victory. But today, I didn't know which way we were going with this. We said we're drafting comedians. Did we say stand-ups? Or
that's what I was thinking.
Okay, same. And next qualifier, is this all time right now? Our favorite?
Yeah, it's like, our favorites, like our favorite all time.
Okay,
comedians.
All right, perfect.
We're putting together our own little open mic here, Jim.
All right, so if we had a comedy festival,
you're putting together your little lineup. We'll see which stage people want to go to. You know?
All right. I like this. Now with that being said, I'll let you take the first pick. Let me flip this shit. Boom. Oh, wait a minute. One more. There it is. Oof. Thought we'd broken it. All right, lead us off.
All right, first pick of my stand-up comedians draft here. This is a tough decision. Don't know which way to go with it. I think I'm going to go with someone that you might be drafting. He might be on your board here. I got some other sleepers that I'm going to go grab later, but give me Bill Burr.
Oh wow.
Give me Bill Burr in the traffic. No, I don't know.
That wasn't the best Boston accent, but You know, you got to get to the car. No, okay. Bill Burr has one of the greatest rants of all time. Have you seen it against the city of Philadelphia?
Yes.
Incredible. We've probably talked about it on here. But it's like 10 minutes of he's opening for Dom Irrera, and the people hate Dom Irrera, and he goes on a 10-minute rant about fuck Philly cheesesteaks, fuck Rocky, fuck you pieces of shit, you fucking scumbag, and just on and on and on, and it was so good. And
legendary.
And like at minute 5, Philadelphia, they started respecting the shit out of him. They're like, this might be our new king right here. We fucking love this guy.
Exactly. It couldn't have been a more perfect kind of like match, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, that's the only way you could win them over. They were going to shit on you unless you shit on them.
Exactly. But yeah, love Bill Burr. He got a new movie out right now, or has a new movie out. Old Dads. It's on Netflix. Not his best work. Let's just say he's a better.
I scrolled past it.
Better stand-up. But yeah, no, legend. And he just has a podcast where he rants. A solo one-man, just fucking let's go of shit, and it's amazing. Bill Burr.
Love it.
Lock him in, number 1. Now, with you taking Burr, I'm going strategic here because I'm hoping you're not going to take guys I will. But if you said, hey, I have a stand-up show, who are people going to want to see the most? And this
Seinfeld.
Is a pandering pick a little bit. I'm going to go with Dave Chappelle.
Oh.
And now, I'm not the biggest Dave Chappelle guy nowadays, but his old stuff, I mean, unbeatable. Guy been doing it since he was like 16. He's a little too preachy now, though. He's a fucking laughs at his own jokes.
He's a social commentator a little bit more so.
Exactly.
But it's like the comedian, like he has mastered the craft of sort of storytelling and making a point.
Exactly.
Right. And so
while
it's
still
like,
finding the comedy and the little things of it.
Those are the voices that sometimes are needed for clarity at some points. I feel like he's kind of taken on that role to be like the guy to push through, almost like Jon Stewartish. He's social commentary. Yeah, almost get into like Jon Stewart type bag. But either way, man, master at his craft. I love Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, and he's one of the few guys. He's like Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg gets to smoke weed wherever he wants. Dave Chappelle gets to smoke cigarettes wherever he wants. And there's so many stories of people being like him smoking, like, oh, I didn't know I could smoke here, and him pulling out a cigarette and just being like, tell him you're with Dave Chappelle, bitch. And like, that's it. It's so good. But yeah, Dave Chappelle, legend. Round 2.
I love it. Now, this is a personal favorite. It might not be other people's favorite, but it's a personal favorite of mine. I had to go grab him. The king of physical comedy. Been doing this since the Mad TV days. Give me Mr. Brian Callen. Wow. It's the fighter and the kid, because we back at it again. And the fighter and the kid. Brian the Kid Callen, man. Just no one funnier, honestly. The thing that I love most about Brian Callen is that he doesn't turn off his comedy. There's no I'm on stage and I'm off stage. He's always on stage.
Yeah, and he's the biggest exaggerator ever, and it's in the funniest way. Like, there's some guys that tell a story and it's like, all right, that's like too close to being believable, where you're like, you're a liar. Like with Brian Callen, he's just like so far out there. You're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And there's nothing
like he likes to talk about himself like very boisterously, but it's like in a way that he's a comedian, so you know he's kind of like kidding,
fucking around. Yeah, but his friends still shit on him for it, which is the best part.
That's the other thing. He knows that if you're going to be that guy, that you have to be what people do to the guy that puts himself up on the high horse is they knock him down. So he knows that he's going to be the punching bag, and he knows how to play off it. I just think he's fucking hilarious.
Definitely. And when he's podcasting with Schaub, he's infinitely funnier. So it's like, it makes him seem even funnier. It's a little cherry on top.
He got a little bit preachy in some of his later specials, I gotta say, but he's just got classic stuff. He's just got classic stuff out there.
Yeah,
my favorite Callen joke is the sorry to cut you off there, Jim. My favorite Callen joke is the Yeah, this is comedy. It's really hard. Like, there's a lot of great men, but you know, I'm better than all of them at comedy. Like Martin Luther King, like
Oh, I see.
important, but wasn't really much of a silly
Not a
goose. Albert
comedian.
Einstein, like, yeah, I mean, he had a sense of humor, but you didn't see him making many dick jokes.
That's a good point.
Even Jesus.
Hey, Jesus was funny.
He goes, did I just start my comedy special by saying I'm funnier than God?
But Callan
I
is.
butchered that. I told myself I wasn't going to repeat these comedians' jokes because I knew it
I've
wouldn't
been
do them any
trying.
justice.
It's so hard to fucking nail the timing, and even if you do, it's. I don't know.
Well,
I
there
love it
also
though.
was
He's the
the
best.
study that came out that said American men have sex twice a week, while Chinese men, I think married men, have sex twice a year. And I was like, that's crazy because I didn't even know I was Chinese.
Dead on.
Yeah,
That
there
is.
you go.
There you go. Give me the bells. All right, round two. Now I'm going into my comedians. These are the dogs. This guy been in Adam Sandler movies. He's kind of a afterthought in movies. Never really plays the main role, but he's funny because he doesn't give a fuck if other people think he's funny, and he has jokes that have 20-minute setups, and then there's a punchline, and that person is Norm fucking Macdonald, the legend. He's one where his comedy special I can listen to on repeat. He's got this one joke on Conan. I'm not gonna butcher it, but he basically the punchline of his joke is this guy's getting molested by Leslie Kitchener, and it's like it's a 10-minute setup for a punchline that's not funny at all, and that's what makes it so fucking funny. He like notoriously walks crowds and doesn't care. Well, walked crowds. He's dead now.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Norm. But yeah, just one of the funniest guys I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yep, good call. I like it.
Yeah, and then I was gonna say something else, but fuck it. Yeah, and he's one of like the Sandler boys, so it's like him.
I didn't know he was a Sandler guy. That was surprising to me.
Yeah, so he's in Big Daddy, or not Big Daddy, Billy Madison.
Oh, okay.
He's like the friend that does the pickle races, one of the two fucking weirdo friends. And then he's in a bunch of other random movies. Another Chappelle guy too, but Norm Macdonald.
A comedian's comedian, you know what I mean? I feel like he's one of those guys a lot of the comedians really respected.
Exactly. Never had his license. Canadian, just said, fuck, get my license. A lot of people drive me everywhere. Shit himself in the car with Sarah Silverman one time and just blamed Sarah Silverman. Was like, Sarah, did you shit yourself? Oh my God, this is horrible, Sarah. And like to the day he died, pretty much denied it. And then like one of his friends was like, no, he was telling me he shit himself. And he just was like, this is my way out. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad.
All right, round three.
So many tough decisions. I'm just going to trust my gut here. I'm going to go with Theo Von.
Nice.
He's just hilarious, brother. I don't know what to tell you.
And he's one of those guys where it's like, no one else could do those jokes, right? It's just the way he says them, the way you knew he grew up, just hilarious.
I'm trying to figure out what percentage of genius and what percentage of just like anomaly of a human being he is, you know? Like, is that just like who he is, or is he a comedic genius, like where he's like really like, this would be funny, you know? Or does he just talk like that? You know what I mean?
I think it's both. I think he knows it's funny, but like there's some of it where there's no way you could train that out of him. But he was a completely different comedian 10 years ago. He was just like a straight down the pipe, regular ass comedian. And then like podcasting came out and people were like, what the fuck? And he's like, why am I not doing this on stage? And then boom, you got Theo Von you got today, which is 6. He is the funniest guy ever. Or one of.
Yeah.
And the mullet, I mean, single-handedly may be responsible for bringing back the mullet.
The mullet is fully fucking back.
and which sucks because that means I can't grow it out anymore. That's why I've been going skinhead. You just gotta battle the gotta swim downstream, swim upstream. There it is.
By the way, every time I come on the pod, every time you see me on the pod with the new haircut from Manscaped, like I self groom like damn near twice a month at this point. So
it looks good. You're getting good at getting that sideline.
I'm getting better. Yeah. I'm getting better at it, man. Shout out Manscaped, great products. So
shout out.
Big shout out.
Shout out Manscaped. 2 plugs, one up. Round 3, here I go. Theo Vaughn. Now, this guy's current guy. I think this guy's the current top dog in comedy.
I was gonna take him if I think we're talking about him first.
And it's a guy that I hate to dick ride and to say I found people years and years ago, but I was dick riding this guy on his rise to fame, and that's gonna be Shane Gillis. Yeah, and he's only
the top dog.
What? Yeah.
You think he's the top dog?
For sure, the funniest guy outright. Like just line for line, funniest things that can be said come from him. And he his new special, he does a killer Trump impersonation, which like unlocks so many doors. But he incredible. He is coming out with a new series called Tires, and it's like a mini series, like just like a TV show that him and his friends wrote. And the first episode of it is like better than any TV show I've ever seen on TV. So funny.
I'm gonna have to check it out. See, it seems like something that would be on Vice.
Back in the day, for sure would have. It's just on YouTube now. I don't know where they're gonna put the actual thing, but yeah, the dog, Shane Gillis, got to make the list.
He sent me a clip. Yeah, he was at a Notre Dame game with
That's right, Vince Vaughn, man. That's how you know he's top dog. He's hanging out with Vince Vaughn.
Get excited! It's the Irish.
It's the Irish, man. Get excited. Vince Vaughn is just like we talked about. He's just Vince Vaughn. The best.
I would pay to see him do some stand up. That'd be awesome.
Damn, he probably once upon a time did a bunch. Now you can't. Making too much. Round 4.
All right. This is who I believe to be the top dog, holding the crown and the belt as the best comedian in the game right now. And that's Andrew Schulz. Just headline Madison Square Garden back-to-back nights. He's got the Flagrant Pod, which is hilarious.
Now I got some.
I think he's kind of the go-to. He can come up with shit like that.
He is the best comedian for not in person, for online and for other things. He is the best comedian because, and like,
he mastered the game early of like the internet, put it all on YouTube, like put your content out there.
Exactly. That sort of thing. And it's like a lot of that crowd work is pre-written. As much as we like to think that's all off the top of the head, he's probably done it 1,000 times, and then he just caught the best one on camera and was like, that's the one. So it's like you're just seeing the best of the best. I think he's a little overplayed now. I hate to say it. He's a great comedian, but like the Flagrant, it's like they brought in too many guys. I don't need Alex. Keep Alex behind the camera. He doesn't know how to be funny. Like
the Gagnon guy. Yeah,
Mark's a comedian though. Like Mark's actually funny. Like Alex just adds tension to the whole podcast. It's like, what are we doing here? But Schulz is hilarious. His best joke is like the countries that treat women the worst have the best food, and it's like so incredibly, I don't want to say true, but like you think about it and you think about all these places, like fuck.
You're like, go to Switzerland? Yuck.
Shit, yeah. You're getting like pickled shark or wherever the fuck, what is that, Greenland? Like fuck off. But yeah, incredibly funny, Schulz. And just
best like comedian plus businessman, probably, I
would say him or Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart's up there, but not on my list at all. Fuck Kevin Hart.
I know he's not.
He's
on mine though.
That midget. That's because you didn't have anybody else. All right, number 4. Oof. God. Now I got to stay true to myself here because I wanna pander, but I'm not gonna pander. This is another guy that will walk crowds, and I have the actual CD. It's the only CD I've had in pretty much every single one of my cars, and sometimes I just flip it on, and that is Andrew Dice Clay. And he's the guy that used to do the dirty nursery rhymes like Hickory Dickory Dock, or I don't know I forget that one, or Jack and Jill went up a hill, buck or both with $1.50. Jill came down with $3. Oh, he was the O comedian, but famously walked crowds. Like he would see families and just like start talking about eating the daughter's sniz right in front of the dad, like pretty much looking for a fight. He was a disgusting person back in the day, but so funny. Like you could never do what he used to do today, but god damn it, it is like the funniest shit ever. Andrew Dice Clay, yeah, gotta be
good one. I've never even heard of him. I don't even know what that looks like. What he looks like.
He wears a leather vest, and he looks like he used to. You would have no idea who he is. No one will have any idea, but I couldn't leave him off the list. He's too funny.
I guess.
But yeah, the Dice Man. Number 5.
All right. It's a tough one here. This is a really tough one. I'm deciding between a couple people in my head right now. And I think I'm going to go with Cat Williams. Cat Williams, back in the day, had a good little run there where he was the funniest person I've ever fucking seen. Fucking laughing my dick off. You looking up Cat Williams to see what I'm talking about right now?
No. I'm looking up, what's the one clip of Cat Williams where he's
got classic clips.
No. Yeah, but it's not Wendy, but he's going after, the chick's trying to be like, oh, you got a case, you have a prison rap, like, and he's like, no, sweetie, never convicted, and he just starts going off on her about being fat and having a wig and shit. He's just the funniest, realest guy. The Pimp Chronicles. That was what was the back Pimp in the Chronicles.
Sweating on stage with his fucking straightened hair. It was just so fucking funny.
Nothing is more classic than black comedians and their sweat rags. I mean, if your black comedian doesn't have a sweat rag on stage, he ain't worth the shit. I'm fully convinced of that.
I hear you, Jim.
Cat Williams, though, that's a great pick. Wow, that's like a blast from the past. Like,
I'll tell you who I was kind of choosing between when we get to the end of this pod, but
all good.
There's some tough ones to leave off here.
There's some tough ones. That's what I'll go through right now. So now that we got here, Ari Shaffir, Bobby Lee. I've seen Bobby Lee's Mangina twice. That's like been his closing bit since like the 90s. He just tucks his dick and like, I'm Bobby Ree is what he says, literally in that voice, and tucks his. It's like the fun, like
classic,
so good. Chris Rock up there, Tim Dillon, Big J Okerson, but my number 5 is a guy that I feel like, oh wow, fuck.
What about Louis C.K.?
Louis C.K., Mark Norman.
Seinfeld.
This guy is, oh my god. I don't know where to go.
Oh,
all right.
Sam Morril?
Sam Morril. No, he's great. He's like an up and coming. But this guy also dead. He had a little bit of a heroin problem. And this is Mitch Hedberg. Oh my god. Mitch Hedberg is like just a pure joke writer. Like, not like his jokes don't go, it's like one-line jokes. It's like you're reading like a kid's book of jokes, but all of his are like that. Like, do you like frilly toothpicks? I'm for them. That's one of his jokes. But it's that for an hour, and he was doing that on mass amounts of heroin, and just funniest guy probably that came out of the 90s. Would have been a top comedian and died way too soon. He's like a Cobain of comedy. I don't think Cobain would have been very good, but either way, yeah. Mitch Hedberg.
Is that it? Do I have another pick or no?
That's 5.
That's it, huh? Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I've said some of mine. I guess we go another round if you want, but
no,
well, okay. Now let's hear your honorable mentions.
Kevin Hart, Patrice O'Neal, Louis C.K.
Patrice was up there. I almost picked Patrice.
Sam Morril, Mark Norman.
Jim Norton, fucking hilarious. loves his trannies.
Richard Pryor, I guess, if we're gonna just give some love to the goats.
Rogan's not very. I hate to say it. Rogan's stand-up.
No, he's not that funny.
It's very mediocre. A better podcaster than he is comedian. Chris D'Elia, horrible, worst comic I've seen.
Almost picked him.
No, he's so bad. Dude, he's one, a pedophile, and two, horrible at comedy. We saw him in Reno.
That's why I flipped the coin in my head and I said, let me just go away from the sex offender, even though
it's probably
LA Times did write something about Callan as well. But
completely different. Callan's had no fucking backing to it. There was like a bunch of people with D'Elia. And
D'Elia's had like 100 people being like, why didn't you interview me?
Yeah, right? Like, so bad. And he just wasn't fun. Literally fell asleep
at his comedy show.
Not funny. I'm telling you.
His podcast is hilarious. Send me $20K.
What's up, dudes? Huh? Uh-huh. That not funny.
Dude.
Not funny at all. Maybe if you're 10 years old and your balls haven't dropped, or you're a 14-year-old girl that's trying to get fucked. Yeah, maybe that pedophile will slide into your DMs. But fuck that. Fell asleep during his comedy show.
Wow.
Bad. Let me run this back. Josh, you went first pick of the draft, Bill Burr, then Brian Callen, Theo Vaughn, Andrew Scholes, and then Cat Williams. I went Dave Chappelle, Norm Macdonald, Shane Gillis, Andrew Dice Clay, and then Mitch Hedberg. That's 5.
I got it this week.
I don't know. It's gonna be tough. You probably do just because you pandered, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Thank you, folks, for doing this with us. And until next time. Adios.
Peace.